If you're the president, you want to lower interest rates, maybe you want to hide the inflation data that the Bureau of Labor Statistics, that's the BLS, does. Now, that could be a problem. Now, what if the best way to measure inflation is just like checking out that toaster price on Amazon? Is it more expensive than last week or not? Now, economists, they have this whole system. It's called the BLS. They have the CPI, a bunch of acronyms that sound official. They're out there measuring rent, healthcare, gasoline, all this stuff. It works until someone decides to mess with it. That could hide inflation until it's too late. Now, why would you want to hide inflation? Because you want to get lower interest rates. If you get lower interest rates, mortgage rates falls, everybody goes out and buys a house. The economy looks like it is booming. When inflation is high, the whole point is the Fed slows down the economy with higher interest rates. Presidents don't necessarily like a slower economy. But what if somebody could come in and say, instead of using the BLS, what if you could use the Camel? Now, that is a real website. It is not Dr. Pepper or Dr. Seuss book. It's going to track the price of millions of different things on Amazon. Just not, well, nobody knows the price history of like 5 billion shower curtains, but it tracks a lot. Now, the funny thing is, this thing kind of works. You can see prices rise in real time. It feels way more honest waiting for some government report to come out where a guy with a clipboard tells you that eggs are stable. Now, meanwhile, you could be in the grocery store mortgaging your house for an omelet. The data is not going to be perfect, but it gives you a better idea. There's definitely problems. Amazon does not sell everything. They've got TVs, they've got phone chargers, they've got inflatable hot tubs, but they don't have rent. If you live in New York City, your biggest expense isn't tracked, it's your rent. Now, you can track it on sites like StreetEasy. Anyway, unless Jeff Bezos decides to start renting out apartments with prime shipping, you're probably just going to use like Zillow. Now, Amazon customers aren't everybody. They're mostly going to be urban, middle class, maybe 2-day shopping addicts. So while the data might miss what's happening in small towns, a gallon of milk costs $9 in rural Kentucky, Camel and Amazon are not going to know because they're not shipping milk to a box. Now, to be fair, other countries have done this. In Argentina, where the government was a lot more creative with inflation numbers, private websites just started publishing their own. People trusted that more than the official reports, which is wild, like trusting Yelp more than the Surgeon General. Now, you don't want to start faking numbers. That causes a whole bunch of other problems. The big difference is that BLS does a whole bunch of fancy math for us right now. They adjust for stuff like substitution bias. That's when steak gets too expensive, so people buy chicken. And then they're like, see, inflation isn't that bad. You can just live on nuggets for now. Anyway, Camel's not going to do that math. It's just going to say this toaster used to be $19. Now it's $21. Good luck with that. But the advantage isn't going to be speed. The government releases inflation numbers once a month. Camel can tell you real time. They can also tell you if somebody's fudging the numbers. You'll know inflation spiked before your credit card bill did, which is kind of amazing. Anyway, I think you're going to start to see private companies tracking inflation and prices because if somebody is messing with the BLS to lower inflation rates, they're going to have gone political. Can't have